bim, it's just gone 8 o'clock. It's Thursday. That can only mean one thing. It's time for the Midweek News Update and Opinion, where I give my opinion and update you on the week's news so far this week. It kind of makes sense in a weird way. I've also got a new section this week as well, which is moderately excited. The new section being, well, it's coming up soon. So, what's this show about? Well, what we talk about is the week's news. We have often a main news headline for the week, so maybe one story that's kind of run through the week. There isn't this week, but we do that on occasion. And we've also gotten the stories at the end, which are a little bit weird, a little bit funny, a little bit light-hearted. But some of this can be heavy going, the actual news, because let's be honest, the news is rubbish. So sadly, we're going to have to do that bit first. But we've got a brand new section. Hiya, Alan. Hope you're good. And the brand new section is... I thought they'd been quiet, you see, this week. Are Trump and Musk trying to take over the world? The answer, of course, is yes. I mean, you know, that's it. But we'll see how they do it. Now, Trump's been pretty quiet for most of the week. So the last couple of days, he's kind of re-emerged from under his rock and started coming out with stuff. And I thought we'd have a look at that. Hi, Drew Frequency. Hope you're good as well. So, I mean, that is ridiculous. Just a bit. Where are we? So yesterday, which was Thursday, remember? No, actually Wednesday. Trump says, "Oh no, that was last week. We've done all that." There we go. So Wednesday, the 12th of February. He can't be future president because he wasn't born in the US of A. I've got more chance of being the next president of the United States, and I don't even have a passport. No, he can't be, but his son can be. Dynasty, remember I talked about the dynasty before? So as long as they don't fall out, which they will do at some point, I think Elon Musk's son one day will be president. I won't be allowed to see that, but yeah, I can imagine that is the way it's going to go. Anyway, Wednesday the 12th, Trump says he will meet Putin in Saudi Arabia to basically solve the war in Ukraine. He had a 19-minute phone call with Vladimir. He also called Zelensky as well. It's a bit weird because Zelensky says he's not been invited to these talks, but now Trump said that Zelensky is invited to the talks, so Ukraine are invited to the talks because obviously they're part of the peace deal. So we kind of like, oh God, here we go. No, I was born in South Africa. South Africa. I've never met a nice South African. Trump doesn't want war, not only, yeah, because it's going to cost him money. Because, you know, the American government have been bailing out a lot of what's going on, and they need to get some of the money back, basically. Anyway, I'm not ill, but I've got a cold, and my nose just runs, and that's it. I've just got one nostril that's just like a tap. Breaking news. So, apologies if I grab a bit of a loo roll. The news is that exciting. I've had to bring some tissue with me. But yeah, basically, Trump is trying to fix what's going on in, well, everywhere really. Gaza. Remember, he wants to turn it into a holiday resort. Meanwhile, at the same time, Elon Musk and his son, as pictured, were in the Oval Office chatting about how they're going to save billions and billions and billions of dollars by shutting down a lot of the state-run departments which don't actually do anything, which kind of makes sense. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. The problem is that some of the departments they do need for just like, you know, life, things like that. So we will have to wait and see what comes of that, because remember, when they've had budget deficits and things like that, basically everything's shut down. There've been no bin collections, there's been no road sweepers, there's been no nothing, and the whole country's just gone to pot. They've shut parks, they've shut leisure centres, they've shut everything. So if he cuts too much, he's going to do that. But libraries, everything that's run by the government and the states, even the states are having some of the money cancelled as well, because they're wasting it apparently, and they probably are. Anyway, Thursday, that was today. US demands that countries up their payments to NATO. Now, I think that's personally fair, because America has said they're going to pull out of NATO if the particularly European countries don't do it. They were going to send 50 million condoms to Gaza. Don't think that really works. Trump signs a deal on reciprocal tariffs for basically everything. He also, I've just been watching him live in the Oval Office on his own. No kids telling Trump to shut up and behave himself, i.e. Elon Musk's 4-year-old son. But Trump is convinced jobs are going to come to America because of these tariffs that he's doing. He also said that the European Union has got a 20% VAT on everything, which we know about because we pay it all the time, and that is a tax on US imports. Plus, they've took a lot of American companies to court, so I think the EU is about to get stung by at least 20% tariffs, just to negate the 20% VAT on everything that goes into the European Union. Now, he didn't mention the UK particularly. We are part of Europe, but we're not part of the European Union. However, our good friend and Uber fan, Keir Starmer, is kind of implying that he kind of wants us to join again. But anyway, this is the first time I've done this. I only come up with this about half an hour ago, so it's all a bit wishy-washy. But what I'll do is I will monitor what Trump and Musk get up to, and we will have a regular update. Might not be weekly, but we'll certainly have a regular update on what them two muppets are up to in the White House. We'll see if they're destroying the country, but they're definitely trying to take over the world. Anyway, that brings us to our normal news, which is just looking on the day's news as it happened during the week. So obviously the beginning of the week for us is Friday, because it's Thursday when I do these. So Friday is the first day after Thursday, if you think about it. Oh, we need someone who openly admits he was addicted to injecting heroin for 14 years, like RFK, to make important medical decisions for all Americans. This is Republican common sense. Hi T, hope you're good. Welcome to the channel. This is a UK-based channel. We are watching from afar, but still commenting because, well, that's what we do. We like a good gossip. But yeah, you are right. Is it Robert F. Kennedy? Who is obviously distantly related to the, well, not actually distantly, related very closely to the dynasty that was the Kennedy dynasty, which Trump is trying to replicate now with his own family, because I imagine one of his sons will be put forward to be president in 4 years' time, with Trump in the background. And what will happen then is another son will do it, by which time Trump will probably be gone. And then they'll put Barron in there, because he'll be probably the youngest president of the United States. This is the plan, I would have thought. And then after Barron's done 8 years, well, young Elon Musk's son, he'll be old enough to be president as well. So there you go. There's a dynasty for the next 20, 30, 40 years. You like RFK? I don't know. I mean, the way you look at it is, does someone who's gone through abuse, solvent abuse, drugs abuse, alcohol abuse, psychosis, all that kind of thing, are they better because they've experienced it to understand how to run the medical, the entire medical jurisdiction of the United States? Because let's be honest, we've got in the UK, we've got a cabinet and a government where no one in the cabinet or the government's actually run a business, and they are currently taxing and screwing businesses out of existence because they don't understand what's going on. Whereas RFK might have an idea of what goes on and think, you know what, I can make this better. I mean, it's bizarre logic, but sometimes send a thief to catch a thief. Maybe, you know, get someone in there who's gone through the system various times, various different parts of his life, and see if they can actually get somewhere with it. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. Anyway, let's get back to the weekly news. So Friday the 7th of February, the government confirmed Grenfell Tower will be dismantled, but sensitively, very, very discreetly. It's behind a massive curtain. I've actually driven past it. I didn't deliberately want to drive past it. I just happened to drive past it, look up, and there it was with a big green heart on it. Grenfell being 7 years ago now, coming up for the 8th anniversary of the tower block fire, where many, many people died, many people were injured, and hundreds of people lost everything that they owned. A bit like what went on in LA, where people with the fires there lost everything they owned as well. But this fire, it would turn out, was avoidable, was foreseeable, and there are criminal charges hopefully coming to pass, and people will be sent to prison for neglect, etc. for this. But we'll have to wait and see. The government are holding secret meetings with the cabinet to discuss, well, basically, why everyone hates them. Well, it's because they're shit, that's why. Gino Di Campo denies inappropriate behaviour and sexual comments were ever made by him, because he's a family man, he has children himself, and he's married with a wife. That's not stopped other people, has it? I mean, you know, there's quite a few people, you know, men of a certain age who like women of a certain age, shall we say. And Gino Di Campo, is he a victim of PC wokeness in reverse? I mean, everyone laughed, and it's even been on funny programmes where he goes on about if my auntie had wheels, she'd been a bike and stuff like that, and where he's running around naked on the beach with that French guy off First Dates and Gordon Ramsay. He's just one of them people. So, yeah, I don't know. He's not been accused of anything other than inappropriate comments and things like that, but it's enough to ruin a person's career. And ITV have already pulled repeat showings of these programmes. He's no longer on This Morning, and they're not showing the new series that's already been recorded of Family Fortunes. We've got a bit of a pun on that one in a bit. Hello, Andy the Cyclist. He's always been close to the edge. Yeah, of course he has. He'd be good in a Carry On movie. That's all I can say. But anyway. Meanwhile, in Greater Manchester, a car crashes onto the railway track between Manchester and Liverpool, lands on its roof. The guy, amazingly, in the car survived, got taken to hospital, and then got arrested for drink driving. Overhead lines were damaged, which is another miracle in the fact that if this car shorted out them, that's amazing that the guy wasn't electrocuted or the car burst into flames. I know where it went over. It's Eccles, where the church tower is, and there's nothing else, just this church tower, and the rest of the church has been demolished. It's the end of the M607, and there's a roundabout with traffic lights on it, and it's basically gone through the concrete wall and landed on the track. In order to do that, you've got to be going at some speed. Saturday the 8th of February, 3 Israelis are released by Hamas, and Israel releases 183, so things are going adequately there. In the UK, Junior Health Minister is sacked over WhatsApp messages where he was racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic, and just damn right rude. And I do wonder how many Labour councillors and Tory councillors as well have been busy deleting WhatsApp messages. Shame, because they are saved onto the interweb. Even if you delete them, they're still traceable. So this could be one that keeps giving and giving and giving, and it does give us a little bit more later on. Sunday the 9th, Reform UK claimed to be the fastest growing party in the UK with 200,000 members now, which has gone up a hell of a lot. And they are now leading Labour in the polls as well. So Reform are going well. However, this always happens. Not the Reform, but I mean parties who are not in power are always do better than the parties that are in power. The thing is, not normally this quickly. We're about 9 months in, and it's just a bit weird, but we will see. Um, not Rachel Reeves. Angela Rayner denies being aggressive at the meeting with the families of the Grenfell Tower. Apparently, when she was there, they thought that she came across aggressively at them. And as I wrote in the paper this week, she is an aggressive person. I don't think she means to be aggressive necessarily. It's just the way she's a northerner, so she talks like a northerner. She's from Tameside, ironically. I wonder if she's in a WhatsApp group, because that's where the WhatsApp group was. Oh, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Anyway, she's in Tameside. She's brought up in Tameside, Ashton-under-Lyne, which if you're a regular viewer of this channel, you will know. And they are, known to just say it's, yeah, couldn't agree more, T. There are people who, oh, I've lost my thread now. What was that about? Oh, Rayner. Yeah, she just comes across as a bit shouty, a bit loud, and Southerners, and particularly with a delicate situation like that, maybe she's not the right person to go in and talk to people over such a delicate thing, such as knocking down a tower where their loved ones have died, where all their possessions and friends and family have died. Everything's just gone, and she goes in there and said, "Oh yeah, we're knocking it down." I don't think she said it like that, but anyway, I'm moderately supporting Angela Rayner. Never thought that would happen. I mean, I have described her multiple times as a fisherman's wife, which of course the only fish her husband would catch would be on canal. So yeah, Monday the 10th. Assisted the dying bill, assisted suicide bill, let's be honest, has already been diluted, watered down by the removal of a High Court judge to look at each case because they're too busy to do it. Well, someone's life, I think, is more important. Why don't you have an High Court judge who does nothing but look at these cases? I don't think that they should go through because it's not even gone into law yet and they're already trying to change it. What we're going to have instead is 3 experts, so a social worker, a doctor who's a psychiatrist or whatever, and someone else. They're going to discuss it and then decide whether or not you can kill yourself. I just think that the whole thing is a complete sham, and we shouldn't go down that route. Look what happened in Canada, look what's happened in other countries that have done it. They end up giving it to people who are just a bit fed up. Oh, it's raining today. Oh, do you want to kill yourself? And that's where we might be at. Oh, you're over the age of 40. You need to die now. Yeah, I think we should leave it as it is. Unfortunately, like I say, I've never experienced anyone who's had a painful, long, drawn-out death. But I'm more concerned about the people who might end up being killed off by, basically do-gooders or people taking advantage. Your Auntie Mary, who's a millionaire, has broke her hip and the operation hasn't gone bright, so she's stuck in bed now. Oh, you might as well kill yourself, Auntie, we can spend your money. Yeah, it's a very, very, very small wedge that could turn into a massive wedge, and that's what I worry about. It's the thin end of the wedge. Logan's Run, exactly. I think I mentioned that last time. And yeah, it's just terrifying. Back in Gaza, Hamas say they are not releasing more prisoners on Saturday due to Israel breaking the agreement. Israel then say that it's Hamas who broke the agreement, and this is a violation, and if they don't release people, they will go to war again. Burnley MP is the second removed from Labour whip for being in a WhatsApp group with more racist and homophobic comments. Also, the fact that they've not mentioned it to anyone else when something's been said that's inappropriate does make you wonder why the cat's just run downstairs. Anyway, I dare say there's loads more for this to come out. Government released videos of raids on illegal immigrants and putting them on planes. A lot of people have said, well, yeah, but are these the actual illegal immigrants? Are these the ones coming on the boats? Or are these just people whom are doing jobs illegally like car washes and nail bars and that kind of thing. Again, I think it's more of a gimmick than anything else. Oh, look what we're doing. Yeah, okay, fair enough. BBC, amazingly, show the farmers protesting in London. They didn't do last time. At 10:24 on News at 10 for 20 seconds. I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, it's 4 times more than I got on ITV for my flood watch on January the 1st when they did a 5-second clip and put it on their ITV News. So hundreds of farmers show up. They block off the centre of London. They block off Whitehall. They're protesting outside Number 10, and the BBC show it for 20 seconds. But still better than last time, and they didn't even mention it. Tuesday, the 11th, Benjamin Netanyahu says ceasefire is off if prisoners are not released by noon on Saturday, and Trump puts his oar in as well and says, yeah, you won't know what's going to hit you. The Met Police Commissioner says after a High Court order, we no longer have a mechanism to remove officers who are unsuitable for duty, i.e. officers who are found guilty of doing things. They can't legally be removed. It is absolutely absurd. We cannot legally sack them. And it is insane. I don't know who these judges are, but I think we should just get rid of all the judges as well. Just put normal people in there who've actually got some common sense. Labour suspends 11 councillors over the WhatsApp group, all in Tameside and Stockport. Stockport being the neighbouring area to Tameside, so much so that Stalybridge postcode begins SK because it's was part of the Cheshire, and Stockport is part of Cheshire, so we got an SK postcode. So it's all part of the same group. How many other people are in that group? I wonder if there's any cabinet members who like fish, whose husbands like to fish. I wonder if there's any of them who are in a WhatsApp group. Delete, 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 delete. That's what's going on at the minute. Oh, we've got some update. What's going on? Oscar Piastri started a live video. Well, tough mate. I'm on. Thursday. Oh no. Wednesday the 12th. Keir Starmer says a public inquiry will be started soon over the 2023 Nottingham stabbings of 3. If you remember, what was it called? Barnaby, his 19-year-old girlfriend, and the 60-year-old guy. I don't think he was stabbed, he was run over with his own van. But either way, it seems now that the guy who did it was known to authorities, and they'd kind of closed his case down too soon. Does this remind you of something? Is this department not fit for purpose? Because I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they did, the same department, with the murderer in Southport. And also, the guy who stabbed some people recently as well was on the radar and got his case closed down. So if these people are not doing their job properly, get rid of them. Get people in who can do the job. It's just doing me... well, calm down, Drew Frequency. I've still got a lot in me yet. Drew Frequency's going to get banned with what he's saying. Disgusting. You hit 60 and they off you. Yeah, thank you. UK growth today. UK growth is up 0.1%. Way to go, Rachel. Growth, growth, growth. Yeah, it's going to go down though, isn't it? As soon as we get to April and lots of people have their hours cut or lose their jobs or places shut down. And never mind, Rachel, you know what you're doing. Oh no, your CV's up as well, isn't it? Again. Car driven into a crowd in Munich, 28 injured, and a 24-year-old Afghan, allegedly, is behind the wheel, and allegedly is an asylum seeker. Now, Germany is already going down the right-wing path. Their right-wing party, and they're a lot more right-wing than Reform UK, they're second in the polls, so something like this is going to push them even further. And I think there's an election coming up, certainly in the next 18 months or so. So, yeah, I can imagine Germany's going to go in a very different route from the rest of Europe. Yeah, apart from France, which is going the same way. Yeah, and Spain, which is going the same way. Oh, and Italy as well. But apart from that, oh, and Holland. Yeah, but apart from that, yeah, Europe's going in a different way. But something needs to be done, just for the safety of the nationals in the countries who are being put at risk by people who we don't know who they are. More so in Europe, because they've got free movements for most of Europe. They can just go wherever they want. There's no border checks, nothing. I mean, obviously, we've got the thing going on at the channel. We pick them up in the water, we take them to hotels, and then let them wander around the local area without knowing who they are, which I think is completely wrong. I'm a firm believer that if we put them in hotels, they stay in the hotel until we can identify who they are and they are safe to be allowed out. If they are not identified, then we don't allow them out. Ideally, we just send them back to where they came from, but obviously things aren't that easy. Or are they? I think Donald Trump would sort it out. Meanwhile, not breaking news, but this is quite recent news. A man is attacked after burning the Quran outside the London Turkish embassy. And there's a video of this man. Allegedly, it's the Quran. We don't know, but he's holding a book up, and there's flames coming from the book, so it's on fire. And then the video cuts to a little bit later, and there's a guy on the floor, which is the same guy, looks like the same guy. And there's another man over him who's kicking him, punching him, and looks like he has a knife. And apparently he's been slashed. So, yeah, not good at all. I mean, if it was a Bible, or if it was another religious book, would anyone care? It's a weird one, isn't it? I mean, I think it's provocative, at the least, to do something like that. But I just don't understand the logic of someone getting basically slaughtered for it. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Shall we move on to lighter stuff, because this has been a bit like that. Right wing is way forward, in my humble opinion, says Alan. And a lot of people are saying that. I mean, I speak to a lot of people in the shop. I own a shop, if you knew. And we talk about politics a lot. If you watch the Wigan Watch thing that I do, it's all about what's going on at Wigan, but that's what's kind of dragged me into politics. It's been going on. I've been doing it for about 4 years now, monitoring the council's actions and what they're doing. And, well, yeah, let's just say everyone who works for the council is pretty much banned from talking to me about anything that the council's doing. And I think a few of them are not even allowed in my shop because some have said, "Oh, we'll come back," and they've never seen them again. So yeah, I think Wigan Council hate me, which to me is a badge. Wear it with pride, a little medal. Wigan Council hate me. Yeah, I can go with that. And Labour hate me as well, but I don't really care about Labour. Who does? Anyway, happy news, or different news, or news that makes you go, or whatever. So what we can look at here is the news, or things that I found on the internet that is funny. Now, I can't remember what country this is. I know it's America. It might be America. And they've come up with this thing that if you want to take your dog on the subway, it's got to be able to fit into a bag. Ergo, what they're trying to do, I think, is to get only small dogs into the train system rather than big dogs. So what people have done is they've basically done things like there. We can see they've cut legs out of the IKEA bag and put a hound in that one. There's a rucksack with a dog in it, wondering what the hell is going on. In fact, most of these dogs, there's quite a lot of them. Most of these dogs, I don't like reform though. That's a problem. Most of these dogs are looking very, very pissed off. To be fair, if you look at that one, it's like. But fitted in the bag. This one does like its photograph being taken, and this one's like, what the hell's going on? So yeah, it's a novel way of getting dogs that look miserable onto the subway in possibly New York or somewhere. But yeah, it looks like a corgi. But I think it's so they don't piss and shit everywhere as well. That's probably the other thing. And I think dogs know not to have a wee or a poo when they are inside something. Meanwhile, someone's going to get into trouble. This is what we call a VHS tape, which you used to be able to record on. And it's got Matthew's first birthday, which is obviously a child's first birthday party that they've recorded on it. That's been crossed out, and they've recorded over it Halloween the movie. And then it's like, Matthew, a decision was made here. So yeah, I hope Matthew has forgiven them, because that's a Betamax. So we're talking 1980s. So Matthew's going to be in his 40s now, so he should be all right about it by now. Vegan. I think a lot of vegan food is absolutely pointless. The amount of energy it takes to make a pea look like a sausage or a piece of bacon, it's just ridiculous. But no, hey, wait, it's got up another notch. A vegan chicken wing with a wooden bone in it. Not even joking. You can now buy chicken wings with a wooden bone in it. And remember, that is not chicken. That is a vegan pea fibre that they've made to look like chicken at great, using a great amount of energy. Absolute waste of time. If you're a vegan or vegetarian, just eat peas, will you? Or do you want a carrot or something? Oh, fuming. Meanwhile, wife's friend was convinced there was a ghost baby in her daughter's crib. Turns out dad forgot to remove the mattress sticker. So if you see the picture on the left, which is the night vision camera, and you can see there the baby all curled up fast asleep, and there's a spooky image of a smaller baby near its hand, and she freaked out. Turns out it was the picture on the actual mattress. The left are off the rocker. Oh, I'm not disputing that, mate. If you watch this programme, you'll know, and listen to me read my thing in the paper, you'll know I don't like the left. This is obviously done deliberately, but still brilliant. A van or a company called Duran, lighting and interiors. They've got two vans there. They're on the motorway. They're sharing lanes next to each other. So they spell out the words Duran Duran, and then someone's put, looks like they're getting back together again. Duran Duran, great band, to be fair. Favourite song by them. I like some of the early stuff, but I think my favourite is Come Undone, and that other one off the Wedding album that I can never remember the name of. But yeah, really good albums. They're still touring. They did something on BBC last year, the year before, which is actually quite good. New statue in London to honour Rachel Reeves, and it's a massive, I don't know what they call them things. Abacus. Yeah, brilliant. Let's have another go at Labour, shall we? Caution contains Labour manifesto promises, and it's basically a lorry that sucks out crap from places. It's called the poo lorry, and they put that on the back of it, which is a genius. Abacus, yeah, I got there before you guys, but thank you. Meanwhile, Gino De Campo, we asked 100 people, how do you like to bend over that kitchen table and have me do you up the tradesman's? Which, so I never understood why they got him for that. I wouldn't watch it because it's a show that's about language and things, and he doesn't speak very good English. I liked him on This Morning and other stuff he's done, where it's just having a laugh. But I never watched the Unfamily Fortunes because I couldn't understand what he was saying, I'll be honest. Sooner have Rosie Jones on there. Whoa, controversial. I'm lying, of course. Definitely not. Elon Musk. This is possibly Banksy. I know it's been posted by Banksy. And it's a mask removal of Elon Musk. And underneath we see a very familiar tash. I'm not saying anything other than it's a very familiar, very right-wing tash. A new, very favourite photo. So we've got people in, I assume it's America or somewhere, and they're saying homosexuality is sin, return to Jesus, and other things saying that, you know, all queers and fags and everyone should be killed or stoned and all that kind of thing. And they're not very forward thinking whatsoever. They've all got the little hoods up as well because it's raining. And stood in front of them is a guy dressed as Jesus with the equivocable long hair and beard, with a white and red wraparound outfit on, and he's got an LGBT coloured banner, board thing, placard saying "I'm cool with it," which I think is genius. And they're all just glaring at him. But yeah, brilliant. Also as well, there was Comic Con on this weekend in Wigan, Various different reports about it, not all of them favourable, but anyway. But there was a guy who actually went dressed exactly like this guy here, who's dressed as Jesus. It might have been the same guy. I don't know. I mean, he's, you know, omnipresent. And there's pictures of him walking past Wigan Pier, and he actually walked around my shop. And I'll be honest with him, he had that on, and it was bloody freezing, still is. And he had no socks on, and he had sandals on, and his feet were bright red with the cold. But I thought, you know what, fair play. If you've got the balls to do that, you crack on, mate. So, but that guy, I think he's got balls of steel to do that one. But I love it. Max Verstappen has bought a new $65 million private jet. It's the 2022 Dassault Falcon X. It's larger and offers a significant improved range, allowing to travel without layovers, because obviously they have to travel all over the world now. But he doesn't just use it for himself. He also gets a few of the other drivers in there as well, Lando Norris and Ricciardo and all that kind of thing. There, and not Alonso, it's other guy, Alex Albon. They all share it, so that's pretty decent. And obviously he's on shitloads of money. And I bet he paid VAT on it, unlike Lewis Hamilton, who actually picked up his helicopter from the Isle of Man, so he wouldn't have to pay VAT on it a few years ago. How many reasons do you need not to like Lewis Hamilton? It just keeps giving. This is genius. I think I may have shown this before, but it was a long while ago, so it's worth showing again. In 1731, King Frederick I of Sweden gave his late pet lion to a taxidermist who had never seen a lion before. So he stuffed it, and this is what he come up with. It reminds me a lot of was it Hartley Hare off of that really creepy kids TV show with the puppets. Hartley Hare was terrifying. I mean, that is equally terrifying. Maybe Hartley Hare wasn't a hare. Maybe Hartley Hare was a lion. Or maybe the person who did the puppet of Hartley Hare had never seen a hare. Also throws me back to when I was a youngster. I used to buy oh God, I would have punched myself. I used to buy the what was it? Independent newspaper broadsheet. Oh, so stuck up myself. And I used to buy it because I like the photographs. They took very arty photographs in it, to be fair. But some of the stuff they wrote was really good as well. But there's one thing that they did, and it was a cat that had been taxidermist. And there was a picture of this cat, and it literally had one ear up, one eye down. Its eyes were like this lion, and its mouth was all crooked. And it was just one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. I actually cut it out of the paper and stuck it on my wall because it was that funny. And every time I saw it, which was every day pretty much, I had a smile and a little snigger to myself. Meanwhile, let's let the lefties go for Lego. Top of the brick with sticking out pins is male. The bottom of the brick with holes to receive the pins is female. And the process of these two sides being put together is called mating. A science museum tour claims that Lego bricks are anti-LGBT. Pipkins, that was it. Hartley Hare, Pipkins. God, it were creepy. But yeah, I mean, come on, for sake. I think we should just get all the LGBT activists and put them in a room together. No, put them in a spaceship, send them to Mars. And then let the people who actually want to live normal lives, regardless of their gender or sexuality, can actually do it without feeling that they can't say anything because of these nutters keep making them look like idiots. So frustrating, isn't it? M&S, for a respectable retailer. They have cafes, you know, at least for now. All day breakfast, yummy. Yep, only served until 11:30 a.m. Then it's not all day, is it? Netflix, they do a lot of recreations of stuff apparently, and they like to tweak things, a bit like Disney with the Snow White who wasn't white and the dwarves who were not dwarves and other shit that they've come up with recently. Well, Netflix does the kind of same thing. This is obviously not true, but I mean, if it was true, I wouldn't be surprised. Coming soon from Netflix, The Beatles Story, and there's some Asian and looks like a West Indian guy there. It's all AI generated, but just kind of prove the point. All in the suits, all with the haircut. Cover versions. Whoever says cover versions are never as good as the original, you're wrong. I can name loads, and I agree with this person. This is Alien Ant Farm, and this is Smooth Criminal. The video is amazing, the song is amazing, everything about it is amazing. Even Michael Jackson loved it. He thought it was a brilliant cover. And there's loads of covers that are really, really, really good. Lorde did Mad World. If you look for advertisements for Assassin's Creed Unity, you can get a clip of it there. Everybody Wants to Rule the World, sorry, she did. It was that guy with the flat cap who did Mad World. That was a great cover as well. There are some shit covers, obviously. And covers that are exactly the same as the original, I don't understand. But Alien Ant Farm is absolutely fan-bloody-tastic. And if you never watched the video, you've got to watch the video because there's so many homages to Michael Jackson. My two favourite bits is they've got a kid in it who looks probably about 13, 14, a lad, and he's doing the moonwalking and all the dancers and everything. And there's two videos. There's one with him with a mask on, and one with him without the mask on. But really, really good dancer. And then my absolute favourite bit is they've got the pavement from Billie Jean, where when Michael stands on the pavement, it kind of illuminates. I mean, it doesn't really. If you look at the video carefully, it's not exactly accurate, but it's accurate enough. And they've kind of paid homage to that, but they're in a housing estate, and an American housing estate, and the lead singer is kind of standing on these things very deliberately doing his dance, and there's a post box, an American post box, which is obviously on the stick in front of the house, and he kind of hits his hand, it goes round, and then he goes down, and he just touches it, and it lights up, and it's just like absolutely amazing, fantastic. Binned song. Buzzard, welcome to Great British Outlook on Life. Hope you're well, Buzzard. I can assume you're not from the UK, although you could be. We have buzzards in the UK, so maybe I'm. Oh God, I might have. Oh my God, no, I can't believe I've just done that. I might have discountryed someone. Not disgendered, discountryed someone. Oh my word. Oh, I feel awful now. Anyway, I'm over it. But yeah, Alien Ant Farm. They had another tune as well that was epic called Movies, which was really, really good as well. Don't know much else about them other than that. But yeah, I mean, if you're only going to have one song that's a hit, then Smooth Criminal, and that version of it, absolutely, the dog's danglies. It's absolutely fantastic. Do you ever wonder where a chain of pubs got the name from? I mean, Green King got theirs from King Edward the Third, who didn't like flying and always threw up. So that's where Green King come from. But this is Weatherspoons. So we've got one spoon saying, looks like rain today, and the other one saying, no way, sunny today. So they are Weatherspoons, British pub chain, if you're not from Britain. You might be from Britain, I don't know. Liam Gallagher fan page. I thought it was Liam Gallagher, but it's not, it's his fan page. But all I found was cigaretti alcohol. It's like obviously the famous song cigarettes and alcohol. Here we go. Technology went from this in 300 BC, which is a horse and cart with the Romans on it, to this in 2100 years, which is so the 1800s, and it's a horse and cart with a cowboy on it. So not a lot of progress made. And then the next picture is horse and cart from the 1800s in 200 years, and we've got the stealth bomber. So yeah, technology is definitely increasing at a rapid pace. Meanwhile in Australia, coalition's nuclear election push. It sparks a debate spanning a 25-year ban. Nuclear power is shaping up to be a hot button issue in the 2025 federal election, with opposition leader Peter Dutton and the coalition pushing a plan to build 7 nuclear reactors across Australia if elected. Such reactors are currently banned at federal level, meaning the coalition would have to overturn federal and even some state laws to build their proposed reactors. Now, I've said this many, many times before, I'll say it again, nuclear power is the only way forward. Nuclear power stations are available like now. It's dark, it's cold, we need heat, we need light. A wind turbine, if it's not windy, is a complete waste of time. And when it's dark, what's the point of a solar farm? In the northern hemisphere, if you're on the equator, then maybe solar farms are a better way forward, but we're not. So nuclear power. And unbelievably, I agree with Keir Starmer on something. He even wrote about this in the paper this week. I write for the local paper. And so don't get carried away, but I agree with him to a degree that nuclear power stations are the future. As I agree that hydrogen power for cars and aeroplanes is the future and not batteries. But that's another story for another day, because it upsets Alan when I say that. He gets very, very uppity. So we'll move on to a group of undercover Detroit police posing as drug dealers tried to arrest another group of undercover police posing as drug buyers. So it's not recent news, but it's still funny. A group of undercover Detroit police posing as drug dealers tried to arrest another group of undercover police posing as drug buyers in a mishap that resulted in a brawl between more than 24 armed officers. This is probably one of the most embarrassing things I've seen in this department, the Detroit Police Chief James Craig said at the time. The incident occurred on my birthday in 2017, when 2 officers from Detroit's 12th precinct were posing as drug dealers to arrest buyers. 2 buyers did arrive at the drug house, but they were undercover police officers from Detroit's 11th district. The officers did not know each other. But at least you know. Oh, shut up, Alan Barton. Wind and sun is free. But the technology to build the things that capture the wind and sun are not free. And wind turbines in particular need a lot of care and attention. And if it snows on your bloody... Oh, it just winds me up. I know he's lying. I know he loves it. He loves it, really. Michael Collins is the only human, living or dead, not contained in this picture. Now, Michael Collins was left on the orbiter going around the moon when the moon landings took place, the first moon landings. And he took this photograph of the lunar lander either coming towards him or going away from him. And in the distance, you've got the Earth. So therefore, every living thing ever that's been on Earth, be it dead or alive, is included in that photograph, except for Michael Collins, who's behind the camera lens taking the picture. I mean, that's something you could say, isn't it? He's bit again. Yeah, you keep winding me up. I keep forgetting it's you. Man destroys historic candelabras worth €30,000. A man climbed onto one of the altars of St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican City and vandalised 6 historic candelabras worth over €30,000. The incident, which took place in one of Christianity's most sacred and symbolic sites, immediately alerted authorities, who intervened to stop him. He was arrested and now faces charges of aggravated damage, where his motive remains unclear, leaving worshippers and visitors shocked and concerned. And there he is with his blue top on, and he's kicking off one of the candelabras. Hiya, Angela. So yeah, candelabra crashing down. Another meme for Keir Starmer. There was an advertisement years ago in Britain for the Yellow Pages, and this is a parody of it. So there's Keir Starmer dressed as an old man holding an old phone, and he's saying, "Oh hello, I seem to have forgotten how to sweep damaged facts under the carpet and cannot remember how to cover up stories that will cause harm to me and my party. So I'm looking for a book titled Lie Spinning by Blame for Righty." The name? Blame for Righty. So, yeah, it was a fishing one. Buzzard's still here. Hey, Buzzard. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, the egg. The egg came first. Amniotic eggs showed up roughly 340 million years ago, and the first chickens evolved around 58,000 years ago at the earliest. So eggs were around way before the chickens even existed, which, if you think about it, we knew about because dinosaurs laid eggs. So, yeah. Coincidence? Las Vegas has got a Sphinx, and so has Cairo in Egypt. Aliens. Well. New road surface on one of these matrix signs. Speed limit is still 35 mile per hour. And then the third sign says, "Or we'll put the potholes back." So no more potholes. In Australia, the US president agreed that an exemption was under consideration in the interests of both our countries. Now, Albanese, which is Anthony Albanese, is the Prime Minister of Australia, and Donald Trump agreed that exemption would be under consideration following the announcement of 25% tariffs on steel and aluminium imports to America. Australia exports about $500 million worth of aluminium to the US each year. So, Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister, had a word with Trump and said, look, we can sort this out. I won't give you tariffs, you don't give me tariffs on my aluminium and everything. Everything's great, hunky-dory, bottom on, all that kind of stuff. And so a bit like a certain English Prime Minister waving a piece of paper when he got off an aeroplane saying we've signed a peace treaty with Germany. There's going to be no war from Germany. And then about 30 seconds later, there was a war against Germany. The Second World War started. Well, literally, half an hour later, it's 25% without exemptions, exemptions or exceptions. That's all countries, no matter where it comes from. All countries. So US President Donald Trump has doubled down, proclaiming there are no exceptions or exceptions for US tariffs on steel and aluminium. The declaration comes just over an hour after Anthony Albanese said an Australian exemption was under consideration following a phone call between the leaders. Oh God, you can't write this stuff, can you? Well, you can because they did, I've just read it. Say something positive about gay people. So someone's replied, not only did they leave more girls for us, they take another dude with them. Which, if you think about it, yeah, give you that. Now, do you have any people in your family who have names that are not common? Like David or Sarah or Jane or Margaret or, I don't know, Michael or whatever. And you go to these places where they have this spinning rack with all these things of loads of different people's names and you can't find it. Well, someone's come up with this genius idea. This is Ripley's Aquarium in Canada, and they've they didn't have my name. It's printed on a mug. I bet they'll sell more of them than anything else. I think that's genius. Because I've got a grandson called Chester, and my daughter was named after a character from Star Trek Next Generation, and I can never find anything with Worf written on it. So yeah, especially when she was a kid. Elder is an uncommon name, yeah. Here we go. We've got the Gulf of America. Google Maps leaves people confused after officially renaming the Gulf of Mexico. But other people have got on and named it lots of other things as well, which we can't go into because they're incredibly rude. I mentioned before there were tractors in London, and the BBC News at 10 decided to mention it for 20 seconds in a half-an-hour TV show supporting our farmers, obviously the BBC. But of course they can't support our farmers because they support Labour. So here is a picture of those tractors. I mean, we're not talking 4 or 5 tractors, we are talking a shitload of tractors. The BBC give them 20 seconds. I got 5 seconds for a car in water on a roundabout on ITV News on New Year's Day. Talking to your mother can have the same stress-reducing effect as a hug. A hug from mum can help soothe a stressed child, but new research shows that just hearing her voice can also do this. I'm like, bull. I don't remember my mum ever hugging me, to be fair. Never. Well, that's probably why I don't like people touching me. Yeah, when I spoke to my mum on the phone, I mean, not so much now because she can't use a phone, but back in the day, I was more stressed after I spoke to her than I was before. So I don't know whose mum they're talking about, but it's certainly not mine. This map depicts the known locations of the bodies on Mount Everest. And you're like, what? I knew there were a few, but Jesus. That is a lot of bodies. A lot of people didn't make it to the top, and most people seem to have passed away. The problem is, you can't take a body down Mount Everest because it's literally a dead weight, which is why we were talking about, was it Yellow Shoes, who's like a landmark now, who's kind of been there for 20-30 years, and he's kind of led in like under a rock with his feet sticking out, and they use him as a, you know, if you see Yellow Shoes, you know you're on the. But yeah, I didn't realise it was that bad. So yeah, I was thinking of going up Everest. I think I'll leave it now, to be fair. Big council might get way up. How's it going? More people are now wearing Apple Watch on their ankles, apparently. A growing number of people are choosing to wear their Apple Watch on their ankles for a better fit, especially if they have small wrists. I have very small wrists. I can do that with my wrists. It's ridiculous. Or skin sensitivities, according to a new report. It's said also to improve step tracking during activities like pushing a stroller or using a treadmill at a desk. However, it's often mistaken for an ankle monitor, so you look like a crim. These are co-op funeral directors up there. Yep, definitely. Can you imagine, you find one of the rarest birds on the planet, no one's ever seen it before, and it turns out to be a king greedy seagull. Rescuers learned that the exotic bird they found was actually a seagull covered in curry. I mean, I'm not an expert, but it does look like an orange seagull, to be fair. Now, only British people will get this one, but Hollywood stars Bruce Willis and Demi Moore pictured here on their wedding day. Yeah, and it's Battersby, Les Battersby and his wife. Oh, they weren't married. Were they married? I don't know if they were married or not. But yeah, from Coronation Street anyway. You know when you forget to pack things in your bag and you think, I've got an idea, no one will notice. Referees missus washed his flags and forgot to put them back in his bag. So they've used a high-vis vest instead of a yellow flag. So he's got his little stick that he's holding with a high-vis vest on it. Hoping no one will notice. Thankfully, they've obliterated his face so no one can identify who he is. Talking of football, Jack Grealish looks like one of those mums who shouts at the kids at supermarkets. And in this picture, definitely does. Cans on the 12th of the 12/12 at 10:39. And then they've written, dude, so many 12s on the bottom of the can. It'd be funnier if it was 12/12 when it actually got canned, not 10:39. But we'll go with it anyway. It's still quite amusing. Experts have planned to lure out aliens on Mars using a chemical in human blood. Astrobiologists plan to use a device to reveal space microbes using human blood to prove that life does indeed exist on Earth by using special amino acids. I think they mean on Mars, not Earth. But yeah, they're not aliens. They're just going to be microbes, if there are any. This was hilarious. Ed Sheeran moved on from street performance by cops who didn't know who he was. Ed Sheeran was forced to stop his impromptu live performance in the middle of a street in India after cops unplugged his microphone and shut down his performance. I mean, to be honest, they probably knew who he was and thought, we're not putting our citizens through that shite. So, yeah. Swanner Bally, so much better. Martin Kemp mistook Ghost for an extra on set and asked it what time lunch was. Martin Kemp is no stranger to spooky visitors, but one of his ghost stories left Daisy May Cooper in stitches, with her branding it the most mad thing she'd ever heard. So yeah, he was talking to someone and asking when lunch was, and it turned out that person didn't exist, it was a ghost. Beavers saved government £1 million finishing 7-year dam build in just 48 hours. Now, just to make it clear, it's not made out of concrete, it's not 15,000 foot tall, and it doesn't go across a valley for 200 miles. It is just a wooden dam, but it's doing the job that this massive dam would have done. It's been stalled by government permits, and in just a matter of days, it had done it in 48 hours. So it should get a pay rise, shouldn't it? Or at least see a dentist. Although, to be fair, their teeth grow their entire life. They just wear them down, gnawing on all the trees and everything. But well done, beavers. A CIA document shows US prepared for alien invasion as UFO sightings soared. A declassified CIA document has resurfaced which suggests the US was preparing for the possibility of an alien invasion after a spate of UFO sightings are reported in the 1960s, 70s and 80s. Not anymore, because we realise now that it was just them checking out different things. You've been washing jeans wrong, experts unveil the correct number of times to wear them. The French government have urged people to rethink their clothes washing habits, and while it's riled many, they might be onto something. Experts have now shared how often you should wash your jeans. Now, there are a lot of people who wear the same jeans for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time, some wear them for a month at a time, and then they wash them. Other people wear them once. I'm sort of in the middle. I'll wear them for a week or two. Obviously, I change my underwear every day. T-shirts, if I'm sweating, if it's summertime, I'll change them every day. If not, I'll wear them for 2 or 3 days. But yeah, it just saves on washing, and they don't stink too much unless you get sweaty, or you poo yourself, or you get mud on them, or whatever. So yeah, don't wash your clothes too much, because it damages them. It damages the environment because you're using electricity where you don't need to, and blah 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 blah. 6-year-olds in UK can't even spell their own name, claims a new study. Well, my grandson, who was 6, is coming up to 7. Yep, his writing is atrocious. It's getting better now, but it's still not great, and he's coming up to 7 years old. What is going on? He probably knows all about LBGT, he knows how to have sex and everything like that, but he can't write. I mean, the whole country is top, if you ask me. Beano Toys and Thunderbirds make retro comeback and become UK bestsellers. The Beano, Playmobil, Hello Kitty and Scalextric are just some of the classic brands of yesteryear, still going strong despite the advent of screen-based distractions. And I've gone into the model car and collectibles thing this year, so we've got a few cheap, I mean they're only like £1 each, Hot Wheels cars and things like that, just to see if there's an interest, and then we will take it from there. I think someone's on a delay here, because someone's just typed in hated her, but I don't know who you hate. FBI discovers thousands of new files on JFK assassination after 62 years. Donald Trump had issued an executive order days after returning to White House directing the release of all records relating to JFK's death. And surprisingly, we've not heard a lot about it, apart from the fact that the FBI are now looking at it. Brits are soundproofing bedrooms as they grow fed up of hearing neighbours bonking. I must admit my neighbours many years ago were very loud, and I was in a bad mood. And I had a CD that I bought, which was called, it was about Belle and Sebastian, it was called Shut Up and Sleep With Me. So I turned the speakers against the wall, turned it up very loud, and, oh, Les Batter Biz Wife, yeah, okay. I turned it round to the wall and played it very loud indeed. Never heard of bad sex since. That was like 20 years ago, not longer. Reddit users share the most compelling evidence that aliens exist. Yeah, they haven't. It's just bullshit. It's AI nonsense. Talking of AI, well, we're not. KFC launches private jet service Zingair with mid-flight chicken buckets. Zingair will take lucky fans around in finger-licking style with the Colonel's famous chicken served mid-flight and primo seats to the huge sporting game also on offer. So basically, they will fly you to a big match and you will have a KFC on the way, and then they'll fly you back again in a private aeroplane. It sounds fun. Can't afford it though, so I'm not doing it. A major high street retailer shutting branches for good as 100 at risk of closure. The long-standing fashion brand has been looking at ways to cut its numbers of stores ahead of the employees' national insurance tax rise coming to force in April. Many companies are going to be shedding staff and reducing hours, I fear. JFK killed by 2 shooters, reckons head of task force to expose US secrets. A whopping 2,400 new files on the assassination of former US President John F. Kennedy were discovered, and now it could expose the truth behind some major conspiracy theories. Or not. 60 odd years ago. I imagine any documents that were relevant would have been destroyed by now. Experts alarmed by video of workers hammering at Egypt's Great Pyramid of Giza. The widely circulated video showed workers using sharp tools on the Great Pyramid of Gaza, sparking shock and debate online, and rightly so. Rightly so. You need to stop it, lads. Stop it. What are you doing? Space boffins warn it might be too late to stop a giant asteroid hitting Earth. We mentioned this last week. Scientists have increased the risk that a 196 foot wide 2024 YR asteroid could smash into Earth to 1 in 43. And there's some more bad news to go with it. It's too late to do anything about it. It's not though, is it? It's probably the asteroid that they crashed that spaceship into, to be fair. They've just aimed it at us. M&S boss has chilling warning as UK high street shops raided like piggy banks. British retail has already had a tough start to 2025 after a shocking end to 2024, and now a leading retail boss has issued an ominous warning revealing the rest of this year will be much, much worser, i.e. shops shutting, high street being decimated, etc, etc, etc. Chance of city-killing meteorite smashing into Earth rises as it tops the world's risk list. Huh? Oh, I don't want Spotify, thank you. China is assembling a planetary defence team to monitor asteroids as fears grow over the 2024 YR4 asteroid, which is estimated to be 40 to 90 metres wide, impacting with Earth. We've not had one for many, many millions of years, so maybe we're due one. And, maybe it'll be a good thing. Depends where it lands, I suppose. Brits had best UFO pick vanished as MOD insider speaks on assassination. The best UFO photo ever taken was reportedly snapped by two Brits in 1990, but after sending the image to the Daily Record, the chefs vanished without a trace. Well, maybe they were abducted by aliens. Maybe they were aliens. Oh. Meanwhile, Brits told to brace for -7 chills as snow to blanket UK on Valentine's weekend, which is coming up now. So brace yourselves and snuggle up with someone warm and cosy. Yeah, I'm not. Advance warning, there will be a Valentine's Day party tomorrow. Trump is agitated as he's upstaged by Musk's son, who was picking his nose in the Oval Office. Elon Musk's youngest son upstaged President Donald Trump in the Oval Office as he picked his nose and spoke to the president during the bizarre press conference. It was very, very weird. I mean, the lunatics have definitely taken over the asylum. Talking of which, Russia could collapse as deadly rebels plot to destroy Putin. One of the most feared Ukrainian partisan groups, Atesh, has warned that Russia is not as strong as it appears and could collapse as they remained fueled by a thirst for vengeance against Russia itself. So yes, that could be interesting. Meanwhile, supermarket bosses warn perfect storm of cost hikes threatening 300,000 jobs. The Retailers Job Alliance has been formed by Tesco, Marks and Spencer's, Primark, Morrisons, Sainsbury's, Asda and Kingfisher to warn of a jobs bloodbath. They will be cutting hours, because otherwise they're going to have to put prices up, and that puts inflation up. So all these minimum wage rises are just complete bullshit. Plane crashes into a jet on the runway as all flights are grounded. Scottsdale Airport in Arizona has been forced to shut after a plane skidded off the runway and smashed into a private jet with at least one person reported to have been killed. Apparently it was one of Motley Crue's planes, and sadly the pilot of the plane was killed in the impact. Tesco shoppers confused, a store name ditched for iconic plastic bags. I've seen the advert on the telly. It's absolute bullshit, woke nonsense. But what else do you expect from Tesco, eh? Putin invites Trump to Victory Day celebrations in Moscow after a Ukraine call. Vladimir Putin is said to have invited Donald Trump to the Russian Victory Day, which marks the day of Soviets won over Nazi Germany in World War II. Following a phone call, and that's not how they won the war, that's because he spoke to Trump and the friends again now. Oh, that's nice. Musk's son tells Trump, "Shush your mouth," as he gets battered by the 4-year-old. Elon Musk's 4-year-old son stole the show from President Donald Trump in the Oval Office during a press conference in which the lad had some strong words for the MAGA president even. Let's be honest, a lot of people want to say that to Donald Trump. He is turning into a new Prince Louis, isn't he, though? Just basically do what he wants, although Louis is somewhat older. But Louis is good entertainment when he's on the balcony, etc. A Jaw-dropping moment. Whale swallows a kayaker. So this is in the middle of the sea, obviously. A kayaker is kayaking, and a whale just literally comes up, and the kayaker and his kayak completely disappear. The whale closes its mouth, goes underwater a little bit, comes back up again, and spits out the kayaker and the kayak. So yeah, it was well, quite scary. But remember, Jonah, he lived in a whale. Jonah, he lived in a whale. Hell. What was it? He he set up his home in a fish's abdomen. Jonah, he lived in a whale. Bronski beat. Ain't necessarily so. Problem is, whales are not fish. Get it right if you're going to do it. It'll be featured on the albums. Yeah. Anyway. Met Office warns of rare UK weather that's extremely hazardous for aircrafts. Not only aircrafts. The Met Office has issued a warning as rare UK weather phenomena, freezing rain, is set to hit over the rest of the week, which could be extremely hazardous to aircraft. I'd be more worried about cars sliding around than an aeroplane, to be fair. And that ends that part of this exciting show so far. Which brings us to Biden brought us to the brink of World War III. Breaking news, Dream Frequency. Old news. Right. Work on up to 12 new towns in England to begin by the next election, says Keir Starmer. We're not talking building around towns, we're talking building brand new towns. 3 more Doobies garden centres are closing. Stay home for 48 hours as contagious virus sweeps the country. Prime Minister backs Reeves despite allegations of expenses scandal at a bank job. Petrol car sales to collapse in just 3 years as electric vehicles look certain to dominate UK roads. Nah, I don't think so. Docs Martin is axing 70 UK jobs and will hire workers in India to replace them. It's cheaper, isn't it? Teachers' pensions costing taxpayers £1 billion a month. EastEnders Pam St Clement had a toolbox of earrings to play Pat Butcher on EastEnders, apparently. Well, there you go. What else is going on? Trafford Centre unveils multi-million-pound food court with new name and a full list of restaurants. It's been going on over a massive transformation, to be fair. US President Trump signs plan to introduce a reciprocal tariffs. EU criticises Trump's negotiation tactics in Ukraine peace talks. EU criticises Trump negotiation tactics in Ukraine peace talks. Munich attack suspect. What we know about Afghan asylum seeker arrested after car driven into crowd. He's a 24-year-old asylum seeker. Question is, can Europe defend itself from Russia? I would have thought so, yes. Starmer sets out plans for 10,000 home new towns. Kayak, we've just seen that. Hamas announces it will release Israeli hostages as planned, so it's backtracking, and rightly so, to be fair. Ghanaian tourist granted asylum after arranging proxy marriage. She did not even attend the marriage. It's just gone mad. Man admits sexually assaulting 3 schoolgirls as he walks alone near Clapham Common. Disgraceful. Pay rises swallow much of the 25 billion budget cash, NHS chief admits. Well, of course, you give them a massive pay rise. That money's got to come from somewhere, hasn't it? So the rich get richer and the poor still get shit treatment when they end up in a corridor in a hospital. The other day, Keir Starmer was joined by Prince Charles and Angela Rayner looking at a Cornish housing project, which I don't think the King should be doing. Budget blamed as one of Britain's oldest department stores shuts after more than 140 years. I don't know what it is because I can't read it. Trump announces reciprocal tariffs. RFK Jr. sworn in as Health Secretary. We've covered that as well. Someone's got an opinion that Labour's plan for our education system is simple. Nobody is allowed to win. Yeah, well, that's true enough, isn't it? London's first Roman basilica is found under an office block. Acting icon Edward Fox, is he still with us? Forces council U-turn over a railway crossing. A warning issued to anyone growing rhubarb in their garden. New Look shutting many stores around the country. Game Boy and Nintendo's Tamagotchi, how London fell hard for the vintage games renaissance. It's not just London. 13 symptoms of autism that often don't appear till adulthood. I think realising you've got autism is one of them. Because you know what autism is when you're a kid. I'm pretty sure I'm autistic. If I'm not, there's something very wrong with my brain. Can pensioners move £7 billion out of taxes? Rachel Reeves over tax grab fears. I've just clicked on something I shouldn't have done. Sales of annuities soared 20% in 2024 to $7 billion as savers fears grow over Rachel Reeves' introduction of inheritance tax on pensions. So basically they're hiding the money. Is that tax avoidance? I don't know. But yeah, that is the breaking news. So that was the breaking news. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. A big shout out to everyone who joined in the chat. So Alan Barton, G Frequency, T, who I think I scared off very quickly. They were here, then they went. But thank you for your inputs. Andy the Cyclist, and Buzzard County, Angela O'Kane, Charles Deterred. Oh, where's the Tower of London when you need it? We've had 98 views. Most we've had at any one time was about 10 or 12 at some point. Average is 4.15. Been on for an hour and 18 minutes thereabouts. So yeah, we will leave it there, methinks. So yep, thank you very much for watching, everybody, and all being well, I will see you again next time. Yes, indeed. I'll be seeing you. Until next time. Bye. Oh, and tea as well. My nose is still running. It's really annoying. Don't forget you listen to this as a podcast as well. I forgot about that. Anyway. So you're all on delay, so I'm waiting for you to catch up. 100 views. I need to put something on because I'm really, really sweaty. Cold, I mean, not sweaty.